Now I gotta be honest, The Boy and the Beast has some really great moments, but it's not a classic. It's just okay.
もしあんたといて本当に強くなるんなら、俺あんたの弟子になってやってもいいぜ。
よし、キだ。しっかり鍛えてやるから覚悟しとけ。
Now don't get me wrong, Mamoru Hosoda is an amazing filmmaker. If you made a Venn diagram of the best anime movies and Hosoda's filmography, it would just be a circle. His blocking is so tight he can almost tell a story without dialogue. The way he explores love, family, and friendship results in some profoundly touching, if not outright tear-jerking moments. Also, everything he directs is just gorgeous. So this is my fault. I really should have curbed my expectations for The Boy and the Beast. It's a decent movie, and it's not fair to compare it to Wolf Children's Summer Wars and The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. But, you know, I know this guy could do better. The Boy and the Beast follows Kyuta, a 9-year-old runaway who stumbles into Jutengai, an alternate world populated by beast people. Kyuta becomes the apprentice of Kumatetsu, a strong but stubborn beastman competing to be the lord of Jutengai against the much more refined Yozen. In order to have a hope in hell of being the next beast lord, Kumatetsu needs an apprentice, someone who can teach him patience. Thus, a rocky, tantrum-prone relationship is forged between a rambunctious brat and a surly bear man. This is where The Boy and the Beast is at its strongest. Kyuta and Kumatetsu's relationship consists entirely of angry shouting and pithy quips. At its core, it's the story of two grumpy assholes pushing each other along, both too stubborn to admit how important they are to one another. These scenes are incredibly funny and become increasingly touching as the film goes on. But the pacing is all over the shop. Important character development gets shown in these really quick montage scenes, while later, less important moments just feel padded. Kyuta grows up in an admittedly gorgeous collage, while later scenes of him reintegrating into the human world just drag on and on. We get these fleeting, second-long glimpses of beautiful Beastman cities, but we spend ages at a normal-looking college in Shibuya. The scenes of Kyuta reconnecting with humanity and feeling torn between two worlds are really emotional, but they stop the film dead in its tracks. Not helping matters is the surprising amount of exposition. I get that this is a weird fantasy world and we need to know how it all works, but Mamoru Hosoda is one of the best non-verbal storytellers working at the moment. He could have found a way to show instead of tell, especially since the film is built on pretty standard fantasy tropes. Probably the biggest problem, however, is the conflict. The main baddie appears out of nowhere in the film's final third and has powers that aren't signposted very well. The film then has to sprint to wrap up the two key character arcs with results that I found kind of average. Yes, it was a touching conclusion, but it should have had the audience in tears. Instead, I just had action fatigue. So to sum it up, The Boy and the Beast is beautifully animated with lovable characters and a gorgeous original soundtrack by Takagi Masakatsu. But it's sadly riddled by some awkward pacing, expository dialogue, and an unsatisfying climax. A lot of people are praising this film, and you know, I totally understand why. This is far from a terrible way to spend a night at the movies. But for me, The Boy and the Beast is not a classic. It's just okay.
負けるな、熊徹！